Everybody, so here we are back again with the Compaq Presario V6000. This is of course the oldest laptop computer I've ever installed Windows 11 on. This computer was made in 2006, so it definitely does not meet the Microsoft Elite class middle system requirements on Windows 11, which of course is my nickname for the ridiculous Windows 11 middle system requirements. So in the previous video, we were successfully able to get Windows 11 installed. We kind of had to hack it on here in a way because the installer would fail halfway through the process of actually imaging the drive, the SSD. So I got this thing propped up right now because, well, last time it was running, it was getting super hot, hot enough that you could smell it. So the issue was, as mentioned, during the process of actually imaging the drive, the computer would reset. At first I thought it was a hardware issue. Matter of fact, I mentioned that in part 1 of this video series, but turns out it was my installer. And I should note that in the first attempt to install Windows 11 on this thing, I did use Rufus to set this up and had all the Elite class checks bypassed. The Elite class checks is my nickname for all the system checks for the CPU and TPM requirements. So all those were bypassed. So yes, I'm totally aware of Rufus and that very, very useful hack that Microsoft might be taking away in Windows 11 23H2. We shall see. So no, it wasn't that I did not set up the installer using Rufus to bypass the minimum requirements. It was something a little different. I just recreated it, and I was able to get Windows 11 installed by essentially dropping it onto the SSD. I pulled the SSD out of this machine, attached it up to an Optiplex 390, got the installation started, and once it went to the reboot process, I shut everything down, put the SSD back in, and that's when I started part 2. But in this one, I figured I would just get some footage of, I don't know, installing a few things. I think, honestly, I think I'm going to just install Chrome on here, because the big test we're going to be doing with it, well, there's 2 tests I'll be doing with this in the next video. Honestly, I wasn't even planning on shooting a video of this, but I figured, why not pull the camera out and just do it. Well, that was weird how the screen glitched a little bit. Oh, activate Windows. Yeah, I'm a pirate, ain't I? I'm not sure what's going on with the screen there. Oh, I should mention that we are using a sort of hacked driver on here, so maybe that explains it. I don't know for sure. But here we are, Windows 11. Got the wonderful Activate Windows watermark in the background now. This is going to be a temporary installation anyway. I will be removing this installation once I get done with this video series. Yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on with the screen there. Let me go and restart this thing. I thought I shut it down last, but who knows. This is going to give it a restart. Maybe that'll clear things up. I'm glad I actually decided to roll the camera for this. So, I think I said in previous video that this thing is kind of, it's probably on the edge. I mean, these computers were notorious for motherboard failures. I mean, this thing is probably right on the edge, considering I absolutely just beat the dog crap out of it in the previous video. I mean, the thing was getting so hot you could smell it. It wasn't a burning smell, it was just a hot smell. But yeah, we definitely ran this thing hard. And of course, it's running an operating system that came out, well, we're considering this is 22H2. So it came out, what, 16 years after this computer was made. I mean, dang. This computer says it's Windows Vista capable, not Windows 11 capable. So the fact that we were actually running Windows 11 on the thing is just kind of amazing. And it's actually pretty late. It's Thursday night, which, well, yeah, technically Friday morning now. Thursday night is like my Friday night. Let this thing sign in here. So again, we're using a solid state drive, so that kind of puts things into perspective at how slow this thing is. It's not as bad as a netbook, but it's yeah, definitely not the fastest. So I've decided that I'm considering doing a Windows 10 video on this thing. So after I finish up this series on Windows 11 running on this thing, I figured I'd go ahead and toss Windows 10 on here just to see if Windows 10 runs better. It probably will run a little faster. So this is all my program installers. I have a separate folder for common files. These are ones I commonly use. So we'll get Chrome on here, since we haven't done it yet. Now these installers, I should note, they actually, well, the installer for Chrome, of course, goes online and fetches the latest build of Chrome. Honestly, I think I'm going to just do Chrome, maybe Firefox. Come on, thing, I'm trying to launch you. This thing's possessed. Okay, maybe we got it that time. And why not? Let's go ahead and do Firefox at the same time. Give this thing more to do. I mean, this thing could always use more stuff to do at the same time, you know. Gotta love the click and wait a few seconds to respond kind of thing. Man, look how big Task Manager loads up on this thing. Yeah, that screen resolution is definitely not that much on this thing. I'm assuming we are running it at its native resolution. I mean, considering the graphics driver it's on here is not probably not the most correct one to use. And of course, we're running that CPU nice and wide open, getting things nice and toasty. In fact, okay, what the heck just happened to File Explorer? Well, I mean, we got the desktop and the taskbar keeps. Oh, there's a UAC prompt. So Firefox won the race here. Heck, is Chrome even doing anything? I don't think it is. I don't see Chrome SAP in here. So we're getting Firefox on here, or as some people like to call it, Mozilla Foxfire. Yeah, apparently, yeah, we did lose right a window. Press the enter key. Maybe it'll give it a clue what we're trying to do here. I still don't see Chrome setup in here. Let's give it a moment. That's right, we're going to get a UAC prompt first. Or we should. What I was going to do once we get there is launch HW Monitor and see how hot this thing is running. I'm sure it's up there. Y'all know I gotta have my little blue box down in the lower right corner. I mean task manager. There we are. Apparently it's just not going to cooperate, is it? Okay, we got what is this thing doing? Did File Explorer crash again? Yeah, boys and girls, I'm actually glad I decided to do this little video here. Because this thing is just acting so glitchy right now. It's like, hello. Did File Explorer leave the chat? Oh! Is Chrome finally installing? Yeah, there we are, finally. Still don't see HW monitor yet. Maybe we're still loading that. CPU 100% usage. Oh yeah. So we like it, boys and girls. 100% all the time. Yeah, I don't even understand. I don't understand why we're not getting our little blue box here to indicate 100% CPU usage all the time. Okay, there's Chrome beginning to install. Firefox just completed installation. It's going to launch any moment now, probably. Gotta love these new installers that automatically launch everything when they finish, whether you want the program to launch or not. And also the fact that these installers they basically require access to a server somewhere out there on the internet to do their thing. I have an underviewed video up on the channel that talks about that, and I'll put a card up here if you want to go view that. It's a video where I was attempting to install printer drivers on a Kodak printer, and of course Kodak don't support the printers anymore, and they went as far as to take down the servers that had the drivers. So when you would launch the AIO install wizard, it would fail because they couldn't find the drivers. So Firefox has this new, I guess new, import wizard. Anyways, get that out of the way. Okay, I guess HW Monitor decided it wasn't going to launch. Okay, the process is there. I don't see anything. Lovely as ever. Oh, suspended. Okay. Let's try launching it again. And then, of course, we lost our window again. So you can definitely see that Windows 11 is definitely not very ideal on this machine. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, it definitely does not meet the Microsoft Elite class requirements for Windows 11, but it's probably not such a bad thing considering the age of this machine. Try this again. Well, that was a little faster that time. And have settings just randomly load up. Oh, it's probably a Chrome thing. Probably does that automatically. That way you can set your default browser. Yeah, most likely. Yeah, I'm still not a real big fan of the... Oh yeah, see it? Yep, there we are. So by default, when you install Chrome on Windows 11, it pulls up the settings wizard to set it as your default browser. Remember back in the good old days when Chrome or Firefox would prompt, do you want to set this browser as your default? You just click it, and that was it. There was no having to dig through settings in Windows 10 or Windows 11. None of the garbage. Windows 8 wasn't so bad. I mean, I did a video not long ago of Windows 8 or 8.1 on a netbook, and I may or may not have shown that on video, setting Chrome as the default browser. But alright, let's see here. Let's see how toasty hot we are here. Okay, 63 degrees Celsius. 62 degrees Celsius. I guess that's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I was kind of expecting it to be hotter. I was thinking probably more like 70 or 80. the way this thing was running, or at least the other night when I was working on this thing. Anyway, we got, of course, Chrome. That's good. Now, for drivers, in case you're wondering, we probably are still missing some drivers. But I may just let it slide as is. I mean, we do have our graphics driver, which I still question if it was even the right one. I had to, in order to get this on here, I had to disable the device driver signature enforcement, and then I had to basically force install the driver, because if you tried to do the automatic way, it would claim that the Microsoft Basic Display Adapter was the best driver for this, which is outright load of crap. So I forced it, and the only issue I've had really, aside from that little glitch it just did earlier, was in settings. You go to display settings. There's this stupid show more options crap. But anyway. Yeah, it acts like there's two displays and they're being duplicated. It's kind of weird. But yeah, that's kind of what it's doing. Alright, so we got Chrome on here, we got Firefox. I'll probably just focus on Chrome in the next video. But one other thing we need to do this thing, and I probably will end up just waiting until tomorrow, which I don't know, if I even go into settings and go to look at updates, it's going to automatically begin installing them. Gotta love Windows Update, Windows 10, Windows 11. It thinks it owns the computer and not you. But yeah, I think this is about all I'm going to do to it, except for one other thing. We're going to fix that show more options crap right now. Oh, heard the fan kick up. Now we hit 65. So that being said, remove or restore show more options. So I think I focused on this in a previous video. Some things you can do to Windows 11 to make it more user friendly. So we are going to disable that context menu right now. And next time I restart the computer, or probably when I relaunch File Explorer, it will stop that menu. You see we have it right now still. But let's say, for example, if I go and kill File Explorer, still using 100% CPU. Alright, let's go and restart File Explorer. Any day now. Well, we saw it for a second. So it did in fact disable that Stupid show more options context menu when you right click on something. Yeah, this thing's definitely pretty slow. I'm not gonna bore y'all out with the whole process of Windows Update, but I might get a little bit of video footage of that. Okay, so it's the following night. Let's gonna start this thing back up, and we'll let it do updates, which I'd imagine will probably take a little while. Okay, so here we are at the desktop. And we'll go ahead and open up Windows Update. Get Task Manager up, and of course, as we expected, the CPU would be wide open. And oh yay, finally we got our nice green box here. Also going to go ahead and launch the HW Monitor utility, because I am curious to see how hot this thing gets. Sounds like it's actually running a little faster today than it was yesterday. Alright, so it's 52, 53 right now, and it's going to eventually warm its way up to probably 65 or 70, who knows. But it's going to Windows Update, and of course it's going to be checking for updates. See what driver updates we have available. Says 0, nothing. Okay. So for example, if we go into Device Manager, we can see, well, once it loads, we are missing some drivers. But what we'll do is we'll just go ahead and let it run updates, and we'll see if it finds anything else. It's only finding this one update, and it's already beginning to install it. So we'll let this run and do its thing. Okay, so it installed that update, and let's go and do another check. Okay, so far we've reached 61 degrees Celsius. I should note it's actually a little bit cooler in here tonight. But also this thing isn't, I guess it's not working quite as hard. I should mention that the graphics driver on this is actually showing GPU utilization. Curious if I go into Task Manager to see if it shows there. No, it doesn't. So, only with certain GPU drivers, particularly newer ones, will you see the GPU usage information in Task Manager. It says we're up to date. Okay, so one more thing I'm going to try is I'm going to check, see what a refresh rate is on the screen, because I can see there's like a ripple effect on the camera. Internal display. We are at 60 Hertz, and that's all we got. Okay, so that being said, I think that's going to wrap up for this video. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, I wasn't even planning on doing a video of this, but I figured it's pretty cool to get y'all some sort of behind the scenes footage of this thing as I was going through and installing Chrome and Firefox and installing updates, and you can see a couple of the little glitches that it has, so it's not exactly 100% ideal, but I mean it's running it. Not 100% perfectly, but it's running it. So anyways, hope you all enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Hey everybody, thanks for taking the time to watch this video from Computer channel. If this is your first time, please subscribe to the channel and be sure to tick the bell so we get notified when a new video post. Please like this video if you enjoyed it, leave a comment, and share this video as well as the channel with your friends and get the word out. Also, I have a second channel, that's CubeCompMTDX. Over there you'll find videos about thunderstorms and weather, cycling, and videos about me personally. Feel free to subscribe over there as well if you like. Again, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for your support.